happiest people that I know think of themselves less. Not less of themselves, but they think of themselves less of the time. And in this culture, we're so obsessed with self love and loving ourselves, and it's a gateway to self obsession and isolation. After trying for 10 years to love myself, I now love myself, and I'll talk about really what that matured looks like, where you're able to love yourself and also be in connection and not isolation, um, way more. And I'm not thinking of myself as much. And so in this video, I really want to talk about all things self love because it's a slippery slope. Um, there's also sayings like you got to love yourself before you can love another. And that's not entirely true. You can love another if you don't love yourself. What you can't do is receive their love because you're going to sabotage it because we only receive what we believe we're worth. And so the answer to a lot of people and what they do is they start out working on loving themselves, right? And then all of a sudden, yeah, your standards go up. You start feeling better. You start say the affirmations. You start treating yourself better. So of course you're gonna feel better. But it's on a foundation of your feelings, which are so fleeting and changing all the time with circumstances in life and with your hormones and with a bajillion things that happen in life, right? And so what happens when you don't feel good? Oh man, I gotta love myself again. Oh man, but I don't love. Oh, there's that intrusive thought again. I'm failing, and then starts a shame spiral, right? I think really what we're after is self respect paired with connection to other people. Because I was the loneliest in my life when I just thought that everybody was a reflection of myself. I was the absolute loneliest thinking that way because it was all about me. I couldn't just see another person and appreciate another person for what they have. And sure, there might be a truth where it's a reflection of something inside of me and yada, 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 but like, where's the connection to other people in that? Because then I'm just connecting to myself through you. And that's so selfish if you really think about it. And the more that we think about ourselves, the more we suffer. Simply put, if we're avoiding a feeling or we're thinking about ourselves more of the time, we're going to stay stuck in some sort of suffering. When I stopped trying to Rubik's Cube myself to feeling a certain way all the time, I was able to accept myself. And again, like I wouldn't say yes. I guess I would say that I love myself. I more what resonates more with me is I respect myself. There's aspects of me that fall short. There's aspects of me that I know I get to work on, and I respect me, and I know that I'm going to work on them, and I know that I'm a work in progress, and I will be till the day that I die, and I don't need to be there in order to get what I want, in order to have the experience that I want. I don't need to love myself more before I go out and launch more stuff in my business, or before I go out and ask that person out, or before I wear the stuff that I really want to wear, or go reach my goals. Like that's not a prerequisite. Self love is not a prerequisite for the life that you want. Self respect is. Connection to others is. And really, we're trying to combat the negative, right? So you think about like I'm beating yourself up all the time, being really harsh on yourself, or shame that lives in your head. And so we think, oh, if I just do the opposite, okay, I'm telling myself I'm a piece of shit. So if I tell myself that I'm absolutely amazing, then it's going to cancel it out, and I'll believe this thing instead of believing this thing. That is such a laborsome task. Because I've got stuff. I had stuff this morning where I was like, man, I am not feeling it today. Ooh. But it ain't about my feelings, is it? And that's not to bypass. I didn't feel necessarily bad. I just felt a little bleh. You know what I mean? And I said, I promised myself I would show up and film a video for y'all. So here I am, in respect of myself and my word, showing up and filming no matter how I feel. Because I'm going to use that feeling to alchemize it to show up. And that wasn't out of self love, that was respect. And you can't really have love without respect. Ultimately, love without respect is just admiration. You know what I mean? So you could try to love yourself all the time and get this change, or just focus on removing the shame. I don't know, forgiveness. Forgive yourself, forgive the other people. And what if that dispels it? Because love is your natural state. So you don't have to try to love yourself or respect yourself. That's like birds love and respect themselves. Dogs that are healthy love and respect themselves. You know what I mean? A human being is going to love and respect yourself. There's things that are distorted that just need to be removed. That's the bitterness, that's the anger, that's the shame, that's the unforgiveness. And maybe it's towards other people, maybe it's towards yourself, but get that stuff out of your heart. And when you focus on detoxing those things, love is going to emerge, respect is going to emerge. I spent 10 years trying to seek what I'm in right now in my consciousness without purging. Think about it like this. You've got a garden, right? And there's bugs in the garden that are eating the fruit that you're growing. Let's say you're growing blueberries or something, right? And there's bugs eating the blueberries. You wouldn't add more sunlight and more water, which is what makes it all grow, right? You would get rid of the bugs. But when we think about our own consciousness, we put in more of the good, more of the stuff that grows. But no matter how much you pour in, you've got stuff that's eating at it. So examine your heart and go, well, what's rotting my sense of respect or love for myself? What are those things? The bitterness, the unresentment, the anger. And part of it's step number 1 is acceptance, accepting that you have it. Step number 2, then go through and forgive. Go through and purge the emotions in a safe space, in a safe way, so you can get it out of your system. Because when we remove all those things, then what's naturally going to happen is more peace. What's naturally going to happen is more love and respect without you trying to focus on yourself. Because, again, doing it the way that a lot of people are doing it, a lot of Instagram is talking about, and loving yourself, and I used to post that stuff. I don't talk about self-love anymore because we shouldn't even focus on it. Let's focus on loving others. Let's focus on receiving love from others. Let's focus on purging the things that are out. And you could say that that's a form of love. I'm really just saying I'm just being present with my heart, right? But doing it because I want to love myself, it's still all about me. Guess what? Life ain't about you. Your relationships aren't even about you. You should go into a relationship to give, not to get. And that's not a codependent saying at all. It could be viewed through that lens. Because you want to have discernment of where is it mutually, beneficial, but you're not in it for transactions. You're not in it to get your needs met or to get your insecurities comforted. You're in it to give, and then you see that that's met. So of course you're gonna want to give more, and it's to give and give and give and give, and then there won't be an end to the relationship in that. And our last thing I'll say on this: people are what hurt us, that caused the trauma, that causes the separation, the mistrust, the lack of self-love, even sometimes the shame, because we take it on from other people, what they said that may not entirely be true, or we spun the story to make it about us, that we needed to change in order to get the love that we wanted, which was there all along. We were just blind to it. We wanted love from this one person, but we were blind to all the love around us. And so we started believing a lie, and we started judging ourselves as good or bad. And that consciousness of judgment is what's blocking love from just emerging and letting go from just happening, right? People are what hurt us. Experiences are what hurt us. People and experiences are what's going to heal us. So you have to learn to be vulnerable again. You have to learn to trust again, even if it's just a little bit every day. You have to learn to share again, to connect again. And I get that it's scary because of what happened in the past, but you've got to find a safe space in order to do that, to give your body and your system an opportunity to experience the opposite of what happened before, so you can actually embody freedom and connection and love, which is what we're after anyway. We're not after self-love, we're after connection. You think in your mind, I need to love myself because of these crazy, cruel thoughts. No, you need to receive the reflection and the love from other people because they're pouring into you, but you're not accepting it, and you think that, oh, I just need to love myself more, then I'll start receiving it. What if you just said thank you and started letting it in, letting the positive reflections in, letting the love in, letting the compliments in, and started believing what other people were saying about you and choosing to believe? Because there's also going to be other people saying other things, right? It's very narcissistic to just believe an identity of self without reflections of other people. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Open up to connection more. And you don't have to love yourself enough to be worthy. Stop even playing the worthiness game. Nobody wins at the worthiness game. Like, what's the marker for being worthy enough? Show me one person who feels that they've won that game. You know who it is? The people who think of themselves less. Not less of themselves, but think of themselves less of the time.